I'm currently a finance faculty member at Goizueta Business School at Emory University. So for the last 20 years, I've been working on corporate governance quite extensively. And the last 10 years, I've also been working on technology and how technology has reformed the financial system markets. So it is very natural for me to combine technology and governance because the intersection is an incredibly interesting area. It's a big topic, just like technology sweeps over all area. It also has been quite fundamentally reshaping the corporate governance. So I can think about a few major points. So when you think about corporate governance, it is all about who are making the decision and based on what information. Now, historically, the information always flows from within the firm. So we're talking about firm disclosure, earnings announcement. But in this new technology area, there's so much data and a lot of time information actually generated from outside the company. And now increasingly, we have incidences that outsiders might know something better and faster than even the very senior level of insiders. So this also shifts the power of decision making, and we could have more and more outsiders who are providing inputs and insights into the firm's decision making. So think about in the pre-social media era, how would you know what your consumers are thinking? Or your potential employees are thinking, right? So you have to send out surveys. You might reach a small subpopulation, maybe 0.2% of them respond. But now you can get so much information from social media. So in the US, there is a social media platform called Glassdoor, and you can go there, log in, and see all the employees are commenting on their employers. You can see the sentiment of your employees, and some study actually show that those sentiment will predict stock returns on top of everything else that we know about. And another example would be, for example, a firm like Starbucks. Starbucks is a multinational firm, and their satellite image can track how many cars in the parking lot and how long on the lines, and quickly people get in and out lines. And those information actually more accurately predict the earnings than even before the CFO knows. So there's some famous cases on that as well. So I think this is a very, very new phenomenon and changed the way we think about corporate disclosure as well as decision making. So, let's start with something positive because we all like positive developments. And I think one issue, today Professor Luigi Zingala is also mentioning about how investors can express their preference, right? So there is shareholder voting on important matters of corporations, but we also know, many investors don't even show up voting because voting is impose a personal cost. You have to show up, fill in a ballot, and submit the votes. And also many times there's no way to track down who the owners are. The big institutional investors, we know they're shareholders of certain companies, but a lot of the retail shareholders held their shares in what we call the street count. It's impossible, it's prohibitively difficult to reach out to them and register them for votes. But the new technology like the blockchain is fundamentally improving this. So think about why blockchain would help. If before the blockchain technology, there are times that some shareholders don't vote, and sometimes the same one share could have been voted multiple times because the owner might have voted and the asset manager thought they are responsible voting and they voted again. Now, one of the key advantages of a blockchain is to make sure something is not double spent. But you apply the same technology on the voting process, you can also ensure that the same share is not voted twice. So after the implementation of a blockchain technology, the proxy voting system will be improved tremendously in terms of expanding the voting show out, as well as to ensure that each share is voted once. So that is a more efficient aggregation of shareholder preference. So we talk about how powerful data have become. Then it also means the data breaching become far more consequential and could lead to potential disasters. Okay? Because of the technology, not only firms are more capable of store and process more data, but also means potentially evil players also have a better technology to invade the data, to breach the data, and use for bad purposes. So this means all the firms become far more vulnerable than before, just due to the data privacy as well the data breaching risk. So I would say it's artificial intelligence, AI. Okay. AI will dramatically improve our lives, make our lives easier, getting more resources to be accessible to us. But on the other hand, the AI also raises a lot of ethical issues as well as societal problems, especially what are the roles of human beings in the age of AI, and how the corporations should employ AIs without really hurting the employees or consumers. So I think all the companies need to put this issue at the top of their head while they are deploying AI technologies, and to make sure that AI become co-intelligence for human beings rather than could potentially hurt the human beings.